At some point, this stops being about whether they'll come back, and it becomes something much more honest than that, whether they can actually meet you where you are now. Because something has changed in you, not in a way that's obvious to everyone else, not in a way that needs to be announced, but internally. You're not the same. You don't react the way you used to. You don't get pulled into the same loops. You don't feel the same urgency to figure it out, fix it, or hold on to it. And it's not because you stopped caring. It's because you started seeing. You started seeing your patterns, your responses, the way your body would move before your awareness had a chance to catch up. You started noticing what was happening inside of you, instead of just experiencing it. And that changed your relationship to everything, because what felt like a connection was also a dynamic, a pattern of energy, a pattern of activation, a pattern of mutual response. And when you become aware of a pattern, you stop feeding it unconsciously. You don't chase in the same way. You don't interpret everything the same way. You don't attach meaning as quickly. And when that changes, the entire dynamic shifts, not because you're trying to change it, but because you're no longer participating in it from the same level. This is where people hold on to a subtle illusion. They think, if I rise, they'll rise too. But that's not how this works. Your awareness doesn't pull someone up to your level. It reveals whether they have the capacity to meet you there. And that can be a difficult truth to sit with, because for a long time, the intensity made it feel like something deeper was guaranteed, like there was an outcome attached to it, like there was something that had to happen. But intensity isn't a promise, it's an activation. And activation can create the feeling of connection, without the foundation to sustain it. So when you step out of that activation, you begin to see what's actually there. Not what it felt like in the beginning, not what it could be, not what you hoped it would become, what's actually there. And this is where the path divides, because when you're no longer feeding the old pattern, when you're no longer chasing, reacting, or holding it together, the dynamic either changes or it doesn't. If the other person has the capacity for awareness, for growth, for accountability, then the connection can recalibrate, not through effort, not through force, but through alignment. It becomes quieter, more stable, less driven by intensity, and more grounded in presence. But if that capacity isn't there, the dynamic can't continue in the same way, not because something went wrong, but because what was holding it together no longer exists. And this is where clarity becomes unavoidable, because you can see. You can see how they show up. You can see what they're capable of. You can see whether there is actual alignment or just familiar activation. And once you see that, you don't need to guess anymore. You don't need to wait. You don't need to interpret signs. You don't need to hold on to potential. You understand. And understanding changes how you move. You stop trying to pull someone toward you. You stop trying to explain yourself into being understood. You stop trying to keep something alive that only existed within a certain version of you, because that version of you is no longer here. And from this place, you don't operate from hope. You operate from truth. You don't ask, will they rise? You see clearly, can they meet me here? And if they can, you'll feel it. Not through intensity, not through confusion, but through stability. If they can't, you'll see that too. Without needing to force it, without needing to justify it, without needing to hold on to what it used to be. Because now, you trust what you see, and that trust changes everything. Because the truth is, you don't pull someone up to your level. You stop meeting them where you used to be. And when you stop meeting them there, everything reveals itself. You see whether the connection can exist. Without the old patterns, you see whether it can stand, without the intensity that once defined it. And if it can, it evolves. If it can't, it falls away. Not as a loss, as truth. Because alignment doesn't guarantee an outcome, it reveals one. And once you see that, you don't wait to see if they rise. You see clearly if they can. And in that clarity, you stop holding on to what could be, and you begin to stand fully in what is. And that is where your power actually is. Not in the connection, not in the outcome, but in your ability to see clearly and choose accordingly. That's the moment the journey changes. Not when they return, not when something happens externally, but when you no longer abandon yourself in order to hold on to something that can't meet you. That's where everything becomes real.